Alright, get everything set up. Got the picture done there. That's good. I think this picture turned out pretty well. I'm probably the best looking poster I've ever made. And it's pretty sad. But oh well. Alright. Is it up? No. This always happens. I start streaming, and then I'll try and open the Twitch app before it gives me the update notification. And instead of saying, "Oh, you're live," it'll just be like, "Oh, hey, you fucking." Yeah, see, like right as I pulled it up, it gave me the notification. But what it'll do is it'll just say like, "Oh, that's just that's a video. That's a recorded video. That's not a live stream. That's a video." You can't convince me otherwise. That's just not a thing. Well, guess I'll be talking to myself, so we'll see how well this goes. I'll say this at the beginning, even though no one's here, because I'm gonna put this on YouTube. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first ever official episode of Pod-Crust, a combination of a podcast and a crusty bucket, which is I, your host, Bucket Crust. Usually, as is the plan, I would have someone here to talk to, someone to debate stuff with. As it is, however, I'm on my own for tonight. So, this is gonna be interesting. And by interesting, I mean strange and kinda sad. However, I am currently full of spaghetti. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. Help me. Oh, fuck. Ah. Okay. I think I think the spaghetti's starting to calm down. Oh, I hope so. The spaghetti has come back with a vengeance. All right. So I guess I have a few topics I wanted to mention. Number one was Apex Legends, the new rip this shit out. The new battle royale game that is sweeping the nation and other nations. Uh, so the story, as it has been relayed to me by people that don't exist, is that it's essentially Titanfall Battle Royale. Now, I don't know if it takes place in the same canon. That's not what I wanted to open. The same canon as Titanfall, but I do know it plays essentially the same, and it's posted by EA. So that's a point against it right there off the bat. Let's see. Free Battle Frontier. Yeah, it's free to play, obviously. It was made by Respawn, the guys who made Titanfall. Let's see. Yeah, all the news articles here. It's what does Apex Legends success mean for Anthem? Apex Legends accessibility settings are shockingly good. Apex Legends smashes Fortnite on Twitch in first week. Everything Apex Legends doesn't tell you. Tips to become a massive faggot. There's one thing Apex Legends needs to be working on, and that's fucking lasting. Alright, Anthem. I completely forgot about that game. Woo! Boy howdy. Anthem. There's another fucking game that hit headlines and not as well as Apex Legends did. Apex Legends, I don't think anyone saw coming. I didn't hear anything about it leading up to its official release. I never saw an ad for it. Never saw anyone say, "Hey, you guys hear about that new EA game coming out soon? Apex Legends. It's a battle royale game and it's gonna be real good. Hey, where you guys going?" Probably for the best, actually. This resounding success coming out of the blue was a good sign for EA's checkbooks, but not so much for their publicity, seeing as how, well, everyone still hates them. Now, personally, I'm not going to be playing Apex Legends just because, best case scenario, this game I really fucking enjoy will be completely unavailable to play in a few years. Worst case scenario, it's just not as good as everyone says, and or no, sorry, I got that backwards. Best case scenario, I'm just completely uninterested and I don't think about it ever again. Worst case scenario, they ring me for a shit ton of money in microtransactions, and this game that I really fucking loved is unavailable to play for, a few years later. So, that's why I don't fuck with EA. I have not given EA any money in years, and I'm never going to give them money again. If there ever comes a day when EA releases a game that I actually want to play, I'm just gonna pirate it. I mean, I know it's fucked up because not giving money to EA means that the people who made these games won't be getting money and they'll probably be getting fired. But the thing is, it's a worthy sacrifice. And if you actually agree to work for EA, you'd know what you're getting yourself into. This isn't like the early 2000s where it's like, oh, I want to make video games. I'll work for one of the 4 companies that make video games. No, nowadays there's 1.5 million indie companies that would gladly hire anyone with actual experience under their belt. Someone who previously worked at EA, as long as, they don't walk in, like, wringing their hands with a big curly mustache going, money. Yes, I desire the money. And, can actually know how to program something properly. And then there's the big companies, which are all just absolutely getting demolished nowadays. I think the only large, like, major players in the AAA scene that aren't just getting steamrolled right now are Valve and Nintendo. Oh, God, the spaghetti. See, Nintendo's doing well currently because, they've just gotten back to their roots. For a while, they were trying to experiment too much, like motion controls and mobile gaming, and they didn't realize that mobile gaming was pretty much monopolized by phone. And, like the DS, I owned a DS, it was alright, but just most people just can't be bothered. Why carry around a DS that is only good for playing games when you could have your phone and also play games on it? So they lost that market. The Wii was. God, the spaghetti. It's upsetting. The Wii was a pretty good testing ground for the new technology for motion controls, but I think, like, it was a good experiment, but the results of the experiment were that motion controls suck, and they're really not that good. That's the lightest I can put it, is that motion controls are not a good idea. Because it's incredibly unimmersive. Say you're playing Wii bowling or whatever, and, you're bowling, or, you're playing tennis, that's fine. That's fine. Try and play a non-Nintendo game on the Wii, though. And you're gonna have a pretty fucking difficult time of it, because it was just so obtuse for people to program for. I mean, you're not gonna play, like, example, Call of Duty on the Wii and, get the same experience as a controller. You'd have to have that weird little fucking gun attachment, so you can aim it and be, oh, it's like a real gun. Oh, I'm really out in Syria getting shot at by insurgents. Oh, this is fantastic. It was a failure. It didn't sell very well after the initial shock when it hit the market, and Nintendo just gave up on it. But with the Switch, they actually pretty much got the perfect middle ground between experimental mobile gaming and, appealing to their major audience and just doing what they do best, which is local multiplayer and just really good, like, very soulful games. It's so rare to see a AAA game nowadays that actually feels like people put genuine effort and care into it. Because on these AAA development teams, you have 1.5 million people, and it gets micromanaged to hell, and it makes the whole process just a travesty. No one can have any definitive say on anything. It's all managers saying, you do this, you do that, you do that. It's bureaucratic as shit, and it ruins the experience overall. Very rarely you'll get some good games out of it, but they could have been much better if they had a smaller team working on it more genuinely. In the same way that if you watch a movie and you see more than one person credited as writer, you know it's gonna be a bit of a fucking headache. Or at least it was a bit of a headache for them to write it. So, with Nintendo, like, they have these big companies, but they have heart going into it. They have, genuine good ideas and love going into their games. That's why they're still not dead. Unlike other companies, which are slowly going down the drain. So Nintendo, they're great. Valve's just not gonna die. You can't kill Valve. I know it's been said before that EA and Activision and all the other, old gods of the AAA scene are, too big to fail. But recent reports have proven that to be false. Blizzard Activision, I'm just going to call it Activision because we know who's at fault here. Activision is taking major fucking hits. No one's liking anything that they're putting out. WoW is just spiraling down the drain. Black Ops, what was it, 4 that came out recently? I'm not even keeping up with them. That was just mediocre. Oh, yeah, their fucking Battle Royale mode. Yeah. It's not even as good as any other Battle Royale game you can find. And it's even more generic, because it's really just a reskin of a Black Ops 4 in the Battle Royale game mode. It didn't really have any special thought going into it. It was just, how can we emulate what's popular? So Activision, major fucking kick in the pants. They're doing a bunch of layoffs, I read recently. And the fact that they're see if I can say this without fucking myself in the mouth. Parasitizing Blizzard is just disgusting. They signed on a partnership with them and then immediately kicked out most of their executive staff and replaced them with their own and started controlling them from the inside. And so now Blizzard is suffering, and Activision is doing even worse. In their attempts to leech off the success of Blizzard, they just managed to bring both of them down with them. EA has been on a downward spiral ever since Battlefront 2 came out, and with Battlefield 5 and that travesty, they're really on their last legs. I fear that Apex Legends, despite being, as I've been told, a very good game, it'll give people the wrong idea. That they'll think, oh, EA's doing better. We should give EA our money. They're obviously improving. We should support them. That is the wrong fucking message to take from Apex Legends. The correct message to take would be that horrible people can do good things every now and then. Alright? Fucking Christmas Story, Ebenezer Scrooge has the horrible fucking nightmares, realizes he's got to turn his life around, and immediately sets to work on that, and the story ends. You see him doing a couple nice things, the story ends. I don't know about you, but I've always believed that, like, he kept up that genuine, giving and generous attitude for maybe a few weeks, and then once the Christmas spirit died out, he went back to being a grumpy piece of shit. That's what EA's gonna do. Apex Legends comes out, everyone loves it, everyone's playing it, it breaks 10 million players within a week, absolutely distracts everyone from Fortnite, but you know what Fortnite has that Apex Legends currently does not? A devoted fan base. Now, I hate Fortnite as much as the next guy. I just hate Battle Royale games in general. They're just not appealing to me. But give Fortnite credit, they've actually put a lot of effort into expanding the game. Apex Legends has just come out, and need I remind you, this is an EA game. An EA multiplayer-only online game. They don't evolve much. EA isn't interested in making a timeless classic that'll last through the ages. They want to wring as much money out of people as possible in the shortest amount of time before moving on to the next thing to keep up their horrible cocaine habits. I'm taking a sip. So people getting really into Apex and getting really excited about it, like, oh yeah, Titanfall Battle Royale. Oh Jesus. You need to remember that one, Titanfall 3 could have come out if it weren't for them being put onto this game. And two, this game is not going to last forever. If it kills Fortnite, then yeah, you'll just be down 2 Battle Royale games in a few years. I honestly don't see Apex Legends lasting more than 3 years. By 2022, the servers will probably be shut down. Because the whole Battle Royale game mode, people have been saying it's a fad, like, oh, it's going to die off in a year, or next year, but what's really going to happen is it's not going to die off, but more it's going to fall into the background. I mean, when Doom and Wolfenstein 3D first came out, first-person shooters were mind-blowing. It was the hottest thing. Everyone was making them. Like, open up your box of cereal in the morning and look, Chex Avenger, or whatever the hell that game was called. It was crazy. Everyone was playing them. Everyone wanted to play them. And then after a few years, even after substantial evolution in gameplay and graphics technology, they just sort of died off. I mean, I'm not saying no one plays first-person shooters. God, no. They're probably the most popular game game genre these days. But, no one ever makes a big fuss. Like, oh god, a first-person shooter's come out! Everyone grab your testicles! People are like, oh, hey, you play that new FPS? And I'm like, yeah, it was alright. Or, yeah, it was good. Or, yeah, it made me shove my head up my own ass and snort myself to death. And that's what's gonna happen with Battle Royale. Eventually, it'll just be like, hey, you seen that new Battle Royale game come out? It's like, which one? Because they're gonna be immensely popular for the next couple of years, but they're not gonna be in the mainstream media outside of game news in a few years' time. So by the time Fortnite actually dies, whether or not Apex Legends kills it or not, well, I said not twice in a sentence. Pardon me, I must commit writing seppuku. Whether or not Apex Legends kills Fortnite in a few years, Apex Legends is going to still be around. EA is going to move on to the next big thing. Or they're going to go back to the old standard that they know they can get money out of people from. So, I mean, enjoy it while it lasts, is, I guess, what I'm trying to say about Apex Legends. It's not a bad game. I personally loved Titanfall. I thought they were great games, especially Titanfall 2. It was a great sequel, and the story was actually enjoyable compared to the first one. But as for Apex Legends, I really don't see it advancing much for anything. I mean, Titanfall-style gameplay, but without Titans. It's not an official Titanfall game, so it's not going to advance the story. And it's not that special as far as Battle Royale games go. Because Battle Royale games as a genre aren't really an established thing. Fortnite, hell, even Fortnite was just a Battle Royale version of the Save the World game mode, which has been out for a lot longer than the Battle Royale game mode. People just didn't know about it because they didn't give a fuck. PUBG was essentially just Arma 2. Or Arma 3, I guess I should say, because it's evolved a little. But it's the same style of gameplay, just a bit more rules to it. Apex Legends, it's just Titanfall gameplay, but in a big map versus 100 people. 1v1v1v1v1, so on and so forth. Black Ops 4, it was just Black Ops, but with Battle Royale game mode. It's not really an established thing like, oh, this is a Battle Royale game, this is a Battle Royale wannabe, etc., etc. I guess you could say that every Battle Royale game except for Fortnite is a Battle Royale wannabe. They're all, oh, it's a Fortnite ripoff. But really, Fortnite wasn't that special or unique in the idea. I mean, people have made memes about it out the ass, But it was true that, game modes like Minecraft survival games really set the playing field for Battle Royale to evolve. The whole being you versus a bunch of other people. You got to survive against them, gather loot and weapons and armor and all that. That's been around in games for a long while. It's only recently have we decided to try and make games solely about that game mode. And so far, it's been going pretty well. People are making a lot of money, but I don't know if it'll really leave a great impact on gaming as a whole. I mean, Fortnite had a huge fucking crater from its impact. But once the dust settles, I don't know if that crater will get filled in or if it'll just sit there and be kind of awkward to look at. But no one's really gonna herald the Battle Royale game modes as the thing that saved video games. Because, video games aren't exactly a small medium anymore. It's no longer, one guy in his basement writing out a video game and then getting it published on a few local store shelves. Video games make more money than films on average. Oh god, belch. The spaghetti, help! Oh god. So, video games are the most popular entertainment medium worldwide. People are absolutely you'd be hard pressed to find someone below the age of 40 who hasn't played at least one video game. Hell, even over the age of 40. They probably played maybe like Pong or, maybe a arcade game back in the late 90s. Or, maybe if they're over 50, they played in an actual arcade. Who knows? But, video games aren't a small medium. Getting back on point here. So, it's not like Fortnite has changed much. It really shook up the video game scene. And Apex Legends took that shaking and gave it an extra twist. But eventually, this is all just going to settle, and people will most likely move on. I don't think we'll forget Fortnite versus Apex Legends. Fortnite has had too much popularity and too much exposure to just be forgotten. No one's going to forget Fortnite existed. People are going to love or hate it till the end of fucking time, apparently. Or at least till the end of this generation. Which may be the last generation of humans, but, that's neither hither nor thither. And, like I said, Fortnite, Apex Legends, Battle Royale in a nutshell is just the newest thing. Eventually, you'll be playing Battle Royale games maybe 12 years from now. They're not going to get the whole, press release blowout like Fortnite and Apex Legends did. No one's going to give a shit. A Battle Royale game sells well or is played a lot in a few years. It's just going to be a popular game. No one's going to really pay it too much attention if they don't already like Battle Royale game modes. So I think the whole explosion around these games and how people shower them in praise or hate, it's inconsequential. Eventually, they'll forget all about it, and they'll just be like, oh yeah, Fortnite, that was a thing. And hell, even the most avid Fortnite players are already starting to move away from it. I won't be surprised if next week you see fucking Ninja or those idiots playing Apex Legends. Because there's a bigger audience. They have no loyalty to Fortnite itself. They just have their audience. Whatever their audience wants to see, they'll provide. They have no reason to stick by Fortnite even as it goes down, compared to fucking Uber Battle Song, the latest Epic Games Battle Royale game mode, or Moonshot Testicle Blast, the new Battle Royale by Bethesda, or Jimmy Chicken Pants, the new Battle Royale game by Nintendo, or, whatever. They're not going to stick by Fortnite. They're going to move on to playing Jimmy Chicken Pants because everyone wants to see Jimmy Chicken Pants. There are plenty of games out there that are still alive years after their release because people have loyalty to them. But nowadays, you just don't see that anymore. I mean, I'm loyal to TF2. I love the game, and I'll probably be playing it years from now. As long as Valve keeps the servers up, I'll keep playing because I really enjoy the hell out of the game. I don't imagine anyone really popular for playing Fortnite right now is going to be still playing it in a few years. Once, people get onto the new thing, which currently is Apex Legends, they'll move on. I mean, for example, Muselk. He started playing TF2. Then Overwatch came out, and people wanted to watch Overwatch. So he went to go play Overwatch, much to the chagrin of the TF2 community. I mean, he took the backlash, but whatever. He got so many more viewers from playing Overwatch. It was worth it. Because all these kids were like, yeah, Overwatch, yeah. And he soaked up their attention and their ad revenue and their donations and their bits and yada yada. A few years later, Fortnite becomes the biggest thing, and all the kids are going, Fortnite, Fortnite, we love Fortnite. And so he goes to play Fortnite, much to the chagrin of the Overwatch community, now left in the dust with the TF2 people. And, they were upset, but again, his increase in popularity from playing Fortnite vastly outweighed the disapproval of the Overwatch community. And soon enough, I imagine he'll be moving on to Apex Legends, because people are getting tired of seeing Fortnite. They want to see the new thing. The new thing is Apex. It's the shiny new set of fucking car keys being jingled in front of your face. Ooh, pay attention. I wish I had a key rank to jingle right now, but... Ooh, pay attention. Ooh. I could probably play... Wait. Ah, shit. I should have this website open all the time when I'm doing this. Damn it. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on Apex Legends and the Battle Royale community as a whole, I suppose. Just take it in moderation. It's popular. They're, decent enough games. But it's not going to be, heralded from Mount Olympus for all time. You just need to, accept that, yeah, this is just a thing now. Need to get used to the thing, and it'll settle well. If you keep holding it in the spotlight, it'll never really establish itself as a video game genre. It'll just be Battle Royale. You won't think of them as, video games. You'll think of them as Battle Royale games. People who play actual video games won't like you because you're not a real gamer. You play Battle Royale. But if we just let it settle and don't, go, oh, Battle Royale, then it'll be more accepted, and maybe you won't get spat at for wearing your Fortnite t-shirt out in public. Woo! Alright. Talked for almost half an hour about just Apex Legends and Battle Royale games. I think we're doing pretty well, me. Oh, what else? What else was in the news? Yes, I did mention this kind of briefly with Activision laying off a bunch of people. I gotta say, I'm not surprised. Activision has just been the bottom of the barrel for so long now. You'd think that they were EA. And they are giving EA a run for their money in being the worst fucking gaming company. Because EA, since Battlefield 5 came out, they've just been kind of laying low, trying to avoid too much more stock price attacks. Because, bad press, people threatening them, saying, oh, we're not going to play your game. That's, that's water under the bridge. They don't care. They don't give a shit about that. They get it all the time. You still buy their games, you dumb bastard. Why should they listen to you? They listen to your money. So when they fuck up bad enough for it to actually affect their wallets, they cringe. They're like, oh, fuck, these things are self-aware. And so they scuttled back into the darkness, trying to lick their wounds and wait for you idiots to forget about them and open up your wallets again so they can sneak in. And that's what happened with Apex. Meanwhile, Activision has been vehemently going at being the worst fucking video game company. Again, they've been copying EA's tactics of buying up smaller companies and slowly destroying them, wringing them for every cent they can get. But where Activision fucked up is that instead of attacking, much, much smaller startup companies, they went after Blizzard, a company that could reasonably contest them in popularity and bank account. So instead of just buying them and snuffing them out, they opened up a partnership. No longer is it Activision and Blizzard, it's Activision Blizzard. And I'm wondering how much Blizzard got for them to get top billing. Oh well. Jeez. And to emphasize how shallow this all was, and how it was just a political marriage. On Blizzard games, you won't see Activision listed. On Activision games, you won't see Blizzard listed. They are still two separate entities. If it weren't for the fact that Activision parasitized Blizzard by injecting their executive officers into Blizzard, replacing the spaghetti and these long-standing members of the company with their own guys who could then make decisions on Activision's behalf in Blizzard, firing people who, may prove a threat to their profits, replacing them with their own drones to run Blizzard more like Activision, thinking that they would essentially hollow out Blizzard and turn it into an extension of themselves and just end up wearing Blizzard like a mask. But what happened was Blizzard's diehard, zealous fan base and player base recognized this early on and started to lash out against them. Because, see, Legion, the second to last expansion for WoW, was really good. Everyone liked it, and they were expecting WoW to finally end there after almost 14 years. No, after 14 years of being live. They were like, alright, had a good run, this is it. Then Activision came in and said, hold on. How much money did Legion make? Oh, no, you're not killing that. Oh, you're not killing that game. That's our meal ticket right there. You're going to keep that going. And you can really smell their influence on Battle for Azeroth, which is how cheap it is. Everything good you can mention feels less like it was genuine and more like it was just a set piece put there to distract you from Activision behind the curtains pulling the strings, cutting corners and just trying to suck every single cent they can out of you. It's just a horrible fucking practice. But unlike EA's player base and Activision's player base, Blizzard's consumers weren't having any of it. So they've been slowly bringing down Blizzard and, by extension, Activision. So Activision now has to cut off the fat, cut more corners. They're not going to trim themselves, though. They're going to trim Blizzard. Like a fucking hedge. Decent people are going to get fired. Laid off. Like there's a difference nowadays. Yeah, they're going to lose their jobs. I would be surprised if... sorry, the spaghetti. I wouldn't be surprised if some of the people getting targeted for these layoffs were, more executives from Blizzard, or just people in general that have been with the company for a while and are recognized by the community. And I wonder if at any point the irony of this will reveal itself to Activision. Because clearly Activision's not going to make the effort to notice it. Only when it's too late will they realize what they did wrong. And hopefully that, the point of no return is coming soon. I genuinely hope Activision goes under. If Blizzard has to go under with them, in order for them to, get what they deserve. I mean, I'm all right with that. I'm sure there are millions, possibly billions of people out there that disagree, but, when it comes to if you approve or disapprove of something, that's more subjective. But objectively, I think we can all agree that Activision just deserves to get shut down. I would much rather see different smaller companies buy out their IPs and do them better. I'm almost certain that there are more than a dozen fucking decently sized developing teams out there that would love a crack at Call of Duty. I mean, people have been making Call of Duty clones for years, and some of them turned out much better than Call of Duty games. So maybe if someone with, more than 2 brain cells to rub together got their hands on the series, it could be revitalized into something halfway decent. And beyond that, it actually occurred to me that I don't know many of Activision's other IPs. Call of Duty has really been their meal ticket for, God, for over a decade now. So, in hindsight, it makes me wonder why they needed to latch on to Blizzard like the leech they are. I'm guessing they were trying to use it as an opportunity to expand themselves. Like I said, hollow out Blizzard and bloat it with their meaty bits. But as to why, I know why. They did it for the money. That's all they really cared about. That's all any of these giant AAA corporations care about is just the money. They don't care what they have to do to attain it or what they're even going to use it for. I mean, the executives at Activision are just swimming in fucking cash. They don't give half a squirt about spending it. They just like having it. They want to roll around in it. Be able to get a big old pool full of it and dive in like Scrooge McFucking Duck. Which is just horrible for the economy, for video games in general, and for themselves. But I've always been a firm believer of social Darwinism, in that just let stupid people make stupid decisions, and soon enough you'll no longer have stupid people. If these executives at Activision think that running themselves into the ground is the best way to keep themselves afloat, let them. Maybe after they crash and burn and find themselves impaled on a fucking steel rod, blood dripping from every available orifice with glass serrated their face 8 ways Sunday, they'll look up at the sky and think to themselves, good fucking god, this was horrible! Why did I do this? I was a millionaire. Why did why? And then they'll die. Homeless, addicted to crack on the street. I'm okay with that. I am 100% okay with that. I mean, I'm really not okay with more homeless people, but these people deserve to be homeless. Because they're so fucking stupid. The fact that they've actually managed to keep the company going this long is a miracle. It's all falling apart now. But, it lasted a couple years. They made an effort. Good for them. I mean, that effort is now going to get them killed, but good effort. It was a good effort. Round of applause for fucking Activision making goddamn effort. I mean, they're dead now, but they're not dead yet. But soon enough, they will be. They're laying people off. That is the first step down the road to the graveyard. Next, they'll be selling off IPs that they didn't have any plans to do with. then they'll be taking pay cuts from the executive staff, which isn't actually what they'll be doing. They'll just say they'll take less money and then embezzle it from every other corner. Just skim a little off the top. Skim a little off the top of the pot. So, I mean, like I said, let stupid people do stupid things, and soon enough there'll be no more stupid people. No more Activision? I'm down. Fortnite gonna die out from Battle Royale or Apex Legends? Because actually, Fortnite is sort of a victim here, as much as I hate to say it. I mean, they're making an effort. The Epic team is definitely making an effort to keep the game interesting and updated, but people really like Titanfall. That's not what Apex Legends is, of course. It's, Titanfall without the Titans, so it's just fall. But, people are sucking it up and just and that's suckling that's not happening on Fortnite's teats, so they're taking a major hit. People are already talking about how Apex Legends killed Fortnite, while Fortnite is still standing next to you, breathing and just questioning why you would say that. I mean, he's right behind you, dude, and you're sitting there like, Fortnite's dead! Apex Legends killed it! It's dead and it's not coming back! And it's like, dude, there are people still playing it. Granted, not as many, but people still play it. Give it a little while before you declare it dead, alright, guy? I mean, holy fuck. But, EA, they're gonna get pinched. This is gonna come around and pinch them in the butt. Because as it is right now, Apex Legends is very basic. And soon enough, people are gonna say, wow, that was fun. You gonna update it? And EA's gonna pause from counting all your money and be like, update? Yeah. Here, what do we have in the box here? Fucking, here we go. New gun. Go nuts, kid. Ah, okay. Then about 2 days later, they're gonna come back. Yeah, we're bored with a new gun. What else? What? Oh, jeez, that usually lasts you about a month. Alright, here's a new character. He's a robot. And they're gonna see, like, your disappointed face, like, really? A robot? Oh. And then be like, it's a robot that's gay? And you're gonna think, oh, wow, thanks, Mr. EA. You're gonna scuttle off and chew on the robot. The hobo bot. Or not hobo, sorry, the homo bot. I'm getting a Futurama sketch stuck in my head now. And, that'll be in the headlines for a little while. Gay robots, the way of the future. Thank you, EA, oh glorious saviors. But eventually, you're going to get tired of the gay robots. You're going to come back and be like, what else? And soon enough, EA's box of generic ideas will run thin. Probably within a year. And Apex Legends will die out. And what'll happen then? Hopefully by then, the Battle Royale craze will die down into the background. So I don't have to open up the fucking news articles every week and see Battle Royale, Battle Royale, Battle Royale, Battle Royale. Fortnite this and Apex Legends that, and Black Ops 4 blah, and PUBG and it's really getting tiring. Like I said earlier, just let it be. Let it exist. Play the games. Don't go screeching about it in public. Don't go making a million videos about why Fortnite is better than all these other games. Just chill the fuck out. People will stop hating you very slowly, but they will eventually stop hating you. And you'll still have your Battle Royale games. But just, they won't be so overblown. They won't be so hollow. They'll have substance over just noise. Because that's what they're doing right now. They're just making a lot of noise. Because they realize they'll get attention for it. But if you stop giving them attention and wait for them to actually give you something, some meat, and not just corn, then you may have a healthy shit. It's a fucked up metaphor, but hopefully you get the idea. We're reaching 45-minute mark, so see if I can go on a third rant. Jeez. I am drawing a blank. Just like my fucking viewer count right now. Where the fuck were my people? What is the point of having a fucking fan base if they don't show up? Ah, God. Alright. I think I'll just end it here then. I think this was a pretty good beta staging ground for the Pod-Crust series. Hopefully next week I'll have a guest on to talk shit with. And, hopefully some stuff to talk about. This week was kind of shallow besides Apex Legends. You know, the game came out, everyone shit their collective pants because they thought it was Titanfall 3. They started playing it, realized it wasn't Titanfall 3, and were like, well, you know what, it's the closest thing I have to Titanfall 3, so I may as well keep playing it. Mate, I'm going to wait for Titanfall 3 to actually come out. And then I'm going to pirate it, so EA doesn't get any of my money. Because fuck EA. Alright, so, every Sunday on Twitch, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or about 8:30 p.m. actually. Come on down, I'll be doing more of this stuff. And, don't really have anything to add for the end, except stay crusty, my, viewer? Yeah, that's what I'm gonna call my viewers. Viewers! It'll be the next bro. We'll have the viewer fist. Actually, be more like a viewer shake. You grab each other by the balls and just vibrate your hand very quickly. Just stare each other in the eye and go, viewer! If you ejaculate, you're gay. Bye!